Many mind-altering drugs are legal. Tobacco, caffeine, alcohol, painkillers are the socially sanctioned drugs of today. Terence McKenna and program host Jeffrey Mishlove had a fascinating exchange in the early 90s about how society legitimizes certain drugs. This interview can be found on YouTube. The following points are taken from or inspired by that conversation. Society happily accepts whatever drug dependencies enable the status quo. Caffeine is a perfect example of this. Caffeine stimulates the nervous system and activates the lower circuits. Caffeine allows people to play social games in a more alert, confident fashion. Caffeine is also incredibly habit-forming and brings about anxiety, restlessness, tremors, irregular heartbeat, and trouble sleeping in many people. When coffee was first introduced in Western culture, it was considered a very powerful, almost hallucinogenic drug. Some people would drink it in coffee houses late at night, and it was considered a risque thing to be involved in. Coffee quickly became normalized and turned into a corporate productivity drug. McKenna asks, who can imagine the modern industrial office without coffee? Even the most stingy companies will make sure there's a coffee machine at the office. Its current use is far from its original use as a sacramental drug in Ethiopian native rituals. Tobacco was also initially used as a sacramental drug. It is still used as such by some indigenous cultures. Tobacco use seems to activate a mild circuit high in some people. It takes the edge off the status quo, and it's widely abused. I'm sure we all know by now how habit-forming and physically harmful abuse of tobacco can be, so no need to go into that. Alcohol has also been used as a religious sacrament for millennia. People still drink sacramental wine every week at Christian services. Despite some real downsides and dangers, alcohol is the party drug of choice for the status quo. Alcohol allows for a general lack of inhibition that can provide both a sense of circuit 1 safety and also expose imprints in other lower circuits. This can lead to uninhibited behavior that can be outright harmful to oneself and others. Lastly, pharmaceuticals like opiates and barbiturates can activate a circuit 1 state of warmth, safety, and calm, but this is a false safety. Using painkillers to temper circuit 1 anxieties has its limited use, but long-term reliance is just plain unhealthy. Avoidance and repression of circuit 1 anxieties only leads to more pain and suffering in the long run. These medications seem to get stronger all the time, and some people's tolerance continues to grow, while others are dying of overdoses in large numbers. Abuse is rampant all over the world. This is considered a crisis. Abuse of these legal methods of consciousness change are keeping us stuck in the status quo, in the lower circuits. An ideal scenario is where someone can activate the higher circuits and be able to reflect on the relationship with these substances, then find the right balance for themselves.